You're listening to Heritage Radio Network.
From kitchen chaos to well-oiled machines, get ready for newfangled technology and old-school know-how. Stories and a good bit of fun. I'm Simon, and this is Culinary Mechanic.
I mean, from like how we started chefing, like it was around 2015 actually, and yeah, I had funny enough, I had a Italian friend of mine that I met through a dinner. So we met on a dinner, Christmas dinner, where we ate this funky, what is it called, like Portuguese dish, turducken or something, where you have like a stuffed pork sausages inside a chicken, and then a chicken stuffed into a duck, and a duck stuffed into a turkey or something. It was really funny, and there was like this little Portuguese girl stuffing up like the chicken and all the sausages and stuff inside. It was quite an interesting experience. So we met at this dinner like, I don't know, in 2013 or something, or 2012. And then we sort of met again in 2015. And we were like, wow, okay, that's so interesting, meeting through dinners. Let's host some dinners at home. We had this amazing house, like 3 floors, amazing house on Bondi Beach, basically. And we started inviting people and created this huge house parties. We had like, I don't know, like up to 100 people coming in to eat like pasta and like to eat like risottos, and we did curries and like all sorts of different cuisines, right? Barbecue, Texas style, European style, sort of like Eastern European style, South European, like we did even sort of Napolitan and a little bit of sort of like Sicilian stuff as well. So it's really interesting. But what we sort of realized after doing it for a couple of weeks is that it takes so much effort and so much time to prepare and cook for everyone that you couldn't actually enjoy. You couldn't spend time talking with people, entertaining yourself and having a drink. Like the only time you could really have a drink is when the party finishes, after you sort of finish cleaning up, and then you can sit down and have a beer or something.
Right.
But we sort of realized that we gotta get, actually we gotta change something. Like it's an amazing concept. We really enjoy doing it. We really enjoy hosting people, but at the same time we wanna entertain and we wanna be part of the guests rather than just being stuck in the kitchen, washing up dishes and preparing things. And then we had another friend actually flying into Hong Kong and experiencing their sort of like private chef service in Hong Kong, which apparently has been around for quite a while and it's very common. Um, and we were like, wow, it just sort of lighted up a light bulb in our heads. And we were like, this is an amazing idea. Why don't we connect the people that want to cook for others and want to enjoy the act of cooking with other people that actually need someone to cook for them so they can enjoy the act of entertaining. And the two things sort of came in together, just like you can call it coincidental, but I think it was like a very managed coincidence where we tested a few things. We actually tried it ourselves, and then we moved into talking about it. So we talked to a bunch of people about the concept of sending a chef to their home. And then we got our first customer by by sort of December in 2015. We had a friend of a friend that really loved the concept, and she booked us in I think it was the 12th of December in 2015. That was our first event. And then on the next day, she was like, wow, this was amazing. I really loved, I think it was Chef Ongi, was like a French chef that came to her place and cooked for her. I really loved Chef Ongi. Oh, how can I pay you? And we were like, oh, wait for a bit. We'll get it organized. So we then scrambled for around 5 days to actually register a business and open a bank account and send her the bank account so she can actually transfer the cash. So that was like how it really started in 2015. And then we started, actually, once we had the business and once we had the concept and we knew that people love it, we started rolling up more bookings in 2017 organically. And at the same time, we started building a bit of a tech piece, like a little platform or little dashboard where the chefs can put their menus, and then customers can actually have a look at what's on offer, have a look at some pictures, and maybe do some bookings and stuff. And that's like we spent around 2016, probably the whole year until I think September, August, doing that and sort of getting comfortable with what we've had. And Also
Nice.
organizing insurances, working out the actual concept. So we went through a few different concepts of trying to do like a peer-to-peer marketplace where sort of normal individuals cook for each other. And then we sort of like really pivoted and went into the chef powered marketplace because in the beginning, like when we started thinking about it, we were like wondering whether chefs are going to have enough time to do this and enough
Right.
passion to actually get out of the kitchen and be interested in cooking extra, considering they're already sometimes overworked, right?
Right.
But then when we spoke to a bunch of chefs, we actually worked out that they love this concept. They love the fact that they can connect with customers, they can actually cook in their homes, and they can create something different from what they're forced sometimes to cook on a daily basis. It's not like a bacon and eggs thing for a breakfast chef. And we had a lot of breakfast chefs in the beginning actually signing up
Oh,
and
how funny.
yeah, because they will just be doing bacon and eggs rolls like every day, right? And then they want to do something else with their skills, something that can actually showcase their passion.
Yeah, I mean, I know for myself, having just cooked forever, or what seems like forever, just the idea that you can get an opportunity on your day off or whatever to go do something completely different, a different menu from what you're executing day in and day out. It's special. It's fun. I know that from personal experience. But um, so. What has been like the big revelation, like as you're meeting chefs and kind of bringing them in, as well as talking to the guests and the clients? What have been like the big revelations of this whole thing?
There have been a lot, really. Uh, a lot. I think the some of the things that are really, really impressive, I think, and sort of eye-opening is how satisfied customers, individual customers can be and how important for them these dinners can be, and sometimes life-changing as well. Like we've had customers like meet their life partners through a dinner that they sit
Oh
on.
wow.
We had one, Kim, I think was her name. She met her husband now into 2023 over a dinner, basically like of 10 people on the table where we had Chef Ikaru cooking for them, Brazilian guy in Sydney actually. Um, and then she sort of got in touch after so they can celebrate together their anniversary and have a chef every year. So it's been really cool. Then we had another customer, Eliza. She did her wedding with a chef in a remote area. Like she hired like a chateau in the mountains and did the wedding. And then every year since we've done like her anniversaries, we've done her birthdays, and then we've done her child's birth. So it's like a sort of like a 100-day welcoming or naming party for the kid. And then we're doing her birthday again this year and like next week, basically. So we sort of follow people through their life, and it's just really cool to sort of see how their life develops and have a different chef in there, have different food, but they still enjoy the act of entertaining and they still enjoy the quality of the food and having that cooked. Um, by a professional chef. So that's been really cool. I think I really enjoy these kind of stories. And then on the other side, we've seen a lot of chefs actually get back in the industry. I think that's been a really important
Wow.
revelation for me, is that sometimes chefs can be burned out. They can exit the industry for whatever reason. Like
Yeah.
I had a chef that had a burning oil spill on his leg, and he's like, "Fuck this! I'm not cooking in a commercial kitchen anymore." Like it's just that it's not worth it. I've had a French chef with like 40 years of experience that went out and is managing a warehouse for the Singer sewing machines. Like some random stuff. I have a few chefs that are tradies now. They do construction, carpenters,
Oh wow.
floorboards, like all sorts of window cleaning, like all sorts of random stuff. And then the thing that we offer to them is just the connection back to the industry of doing something amazing, like once a month or once a week or once every couple of months, wherever it's convenient for them. They can just jump in and say, "Hey, I'm gonna do a dinner," and go and do a dinner for two or do a dinner for 10, whatever they fancy. Sometimes they'll bring their partner with them, and just sort of create a really nice experience, take some pictures, connect back to the craft, hone
Yeah.
their skills, use their knives, basically.
Oh, man, I love it. I mean, like I said, I love doing that kind of work, and I completely understand what you're saying. It's like there is a connection that is lost in the restaurant. Unless you're in the right restaurant, you know, there's a concept that is in Southern California. It's called Scratch, and it's a Scratch kitchen. And this guy has put it together. And I think at one point he had five or six of them, and I think he's probably got two or three. But it is just chefs, and it's maybe 20 seats total, and the chefs serve everything, right? So
Oh,
there's
nice.
nobody, yeah. So they're cooking and maybe they're like rotating out. Maybe you're taking this course or you're taking this next thing. And it's definitely not longer menus. It's more of a, you know, I would say it's probably more of an a la carte service in
Yep.
general. But, super small, super intimate. They definitely, when it comes to cost of operation, they're saving some money because you'd need that many cooks or chefs anyway, and maybe you just add one that kind of acts as a pivot for you, and they're able to serve. So I think connection is pretty special, just in general, and maybe something that's lost in a lot of restaurants. So
Yeah. And also a bit of creativity and sometimes doing challenging things that are out of the box. We had an event in San Francisco, for example. It was for the Australian community. Because obviously we started from Australia, so we have this connection and we sort of try to serve Australian customers. Like we do Australian wine tastings and Australian food tastings in Hong Kong. We do also offer them across the US. We have a few partners that import Australian wines and we use like Australian produce as well. And we had like a corporate event for a law firm actually in San Francisco, and they wanted to do a Taste of Australia experience. So
that's
we
awesome.
worked through sort of put together some really Australian stuff, like have a bit of beetroot in the burger, in the sliders. Have a few sort of like avo smash sandwiches, like feta and avocado on a sourdough toast. And do like an Eton mess for a dessert. So it's just having that creativity and ability to learn something new, even though you may be a super experienced chef with like whatever amounts of experience, right? You always want to learn something new. I think every chef has that passion of learning something new and how can you do something that is different. It
Yeah.
could be sort of as a base, like what I was telling the chef was from Texas, Josh. I was telling him is the Aussie burger is not that different to the Texas burger, right? You just want to have a bit of mayo with the barbecue sauce and you want to slap in a beetroot inside and you've got an Aussie burger. It's the same thing, but you just got to think a little bit differently.
Uh, I don't know about you, but I did not get into the restaurant business to spend all my time in a cramped little office. I love being in the kitchen, out on the floor. And if you're nodding your head right now, I want to introduce you to an amazing company called Starfish. Look, I've gotten to know their CEO, Jordan, recently, and what they're building really impresses me. They're using AI to read your P&L, and they're going to email you actionable insights every week so you can lower your costs and increase revenue. Best part is you don't have to spend time digging through your P&Ls, poring over reports in that cramped little office. Starfish is going to do that for you so you can get back to the part of the business that you love. If you're interested, go to their website, use starfish.com. That's USE starfish.com. And tell them Simon sent you. That's cool. I like it. Yeah,
Wow.
it's funny how the more I talk to people as part of this podcast, I talked to a guy who was down in Fiji, and he's like the group chef, and he oversees three resorts. Each one of them has three restaurants, all on that one little island, and he's like, this is great, and he's an Australian as well, and so. Uh, and we were talking, and I said, "Gosh, it's just stunning to me to realize that you have the same issues when it comes to people and product and all that. It's a world away, but it's the same thing, all the same issues. But what separates it is the sort of some of the combinations, right? The food combinations and sometimes technique for sure, but just definitely like how food is different, but the operations are the same. And I think that's always real fun to think about. And
Yeah.
I get into these conversations and I'm like, oh, so you struggle the same way I struggle. Look at that.
And like serving on an island, dude, it is very challenging. Like doing island work, we did recently a big event on an island here in the harbor and in Sydney, and it was quite a challenge being able to serve 1,000 people every day. You got to really plan what ingredients you
Yeah.
need for the island, set up a kitchen from scratch, make sure you're stocked up and you don't run out of things. And then if you run out, you got to take a boat like for a 45 minutes trip to go and stock up from the fish market or something. So we ran out of seafood because it was too popular on the second day, and we were like just rushing up on the ferry to go and pick up some seafood. And we have the driver waiting on the other side and just throwing up the boxes of the seafood on the ferry, and then we're back.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was talking about, he's like, you gotta have your plan, and then you gotta have your backup plan, and then you gotta have the plan when the boat doesn't show up. I was like, wait, what? And he, because it's that whole thing of like, here comes the food in the truck, right? It's always they run. I live in a city. I live in Seattle, where the trucks are just running around. I can like look out my door and go, oh, there's the truck. I see that truck every day, right? From whatever distributor. But no, if your boat doesn't, I was like, I don't even know what to say to that. He's like, well, you gotta know what else is out there. You got to know like who you can send running, as you said, like onto a boat or across to the other resort that might have something that you need. It really requires a lot of communication, but also a lot of deep thinking about what's happening,
Yeah.
and being able to coordinate. But no, definitely makes me think about why I spent so many years just doing restaurant work. I've long said that like catering chefs are just a different animal. They're the same, but they're different, right? Like I said to a catering chef last year, I said, "Why do you cater?" And she's like, "Every day is different." She's like, "Why do you do restaurants?" I'm like, "Every day is kind of the same, and I know what to expect." There's enough screwy shit in the world, without, like, oh, actually, we went and did a wedding together, and turns out that the tent that they put up by the tent company, they put it up on the side of a
Oh,
hill. So here we are, like the big circus looking tent for all the tables and everything, that was all level, but we were up on the side of a hill, so you're plating and you're saucing the beef, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh, what do I do now? Because it's just running. It's like, oh, okay. So we had to like shift around, and like last second, like we were moving tables in the middle of plating because it was just killing us. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, I think my stress meter is too much. I don't know.
it's definitely not for
Level
everyone.
kitchen, level kitchen. That's the goal right there. Level kitchen.
Flat
Um,
floors.
and it's something that you would never think of. Like, wait, what do you mean you just rolled the fryer into the outdoor kitchen and it's not level? I'm like, oh, we're gonna spill something. Like, we're gonna hurt somebody if we're not careful here. That's amazing. Um, so what's next with Chefin? I mean, are there new platforms, new ideas? I mean, what's happening? Is it just build it to just keep getting bigger, or?
I think at the moment, the thing that we've noticed is that we have a lot of customers, like large corporate customers that want experiences across the world. And there's no one else. Like, there's literally no other brand you can think of, or at least I can't think of any other company that you can go in and say, hey, I'm gonna have a chef in Hong Kong, or I'm gonna have a chef in New York or in Seattle, or I'm gonna go to Paris and I'm gonna have a chef. There's no other brand you can think of. There's no other company you can think of that actually can enable you to do that. We want to be that player around the world where you can have the same chefing experience with Simon in Seattle, with Josh in Dallas, or with like Paul in Brisbane, and Pierre in Paris. So it's just going in these cities and being able to actually scale up in every different location around the world. In Brazil, we're in Brazil now, in Sao Paulo. And obviously, Brazil is huge. So we want to expand in other states, in other cities as well.
Right.
But we just really want to build the largest hospitality brand around the world that is recognized by consumers and by chefs for fine dining and amazing food, right? I mean, maybe the only thing you can think of is the Michelin Guide, right? The Michelin Guide is sort of present around the world, not in Australia though. We don't have it down here,
Oh,
Bonina.
okay. Okay.
Uh, but they don't really represent individual restaurants. They don't really represent chefs. They just talk about which one is the best and where you should go and give you a guide. But we want to
Right.
unite like the best chefs around the world and make them available for booking so people can actually book and experience this experience and have it in their home or have it in a venue or have it in their office. No matter where they are, they could be in Sofia in Bulgaria or in Paris in France or London in the UK or in Mexico, anywhere basically.
That's sounds like so much fun. I mean, I can just imagine if you've got the corporate money to be able to book something in Hong Kong and then have something else for your sort of your next meeting along the way, in another city. That's pretty stunning. I mean, sounds like a good thing to me.
Yeah, and like we've noticed that there's a lot more cultural interest in food in like corporates and individuals as well, but in particular in corporates around the world. We've been doing like the most popular corporate event we've been doing last year was Thanksgiving in Australia, which is quite interesting. But there's a lot of American companies, right? And there's a lot of Americans, a lot of American employees that are moving outside of America. So they want to celebrate Thanksgiving, and maybe they don't have the chance of going back home. It's not that easy to take a holiday in November, to be honest, not in any other country except the US.
Huh,
So if you're outside of the US, you got to work in November.
right.
It's just a normal working schedule. So being able to offer that to their employees and to their teams, it's an amazing experience where you can have the Thanksgiving turkey. You turn up to your office and you've got like a Thanksgiving turkey. We did like sweet potatoes with marshmallows and all sorts of stuff, you know.
All the
That
good American
sometimes
stuff.
yeah, like as non-Americans, we can find quite funny, like having sweet potatoes with marshmallows is like, what the hell? But like people love this. And it's just cultural inclusivity and sharing culture across the world. And then we're doing the same stuff like for Chinese New Year. We have a lot of like Chinese New Year interest and bookings happening across the US and also in Australia. And then others celebrating other stuff like Ramadan. Ramadan's been very popular this year in the US as well. So people are really caring about this cultural celebrations and cultural connection that they have to their home.
That's cool. I dig it. Um, Tell me what a win in your day is.
A win.
A win.
Mm.
What is a win for Petko Petkov?
It's very fucking challenging running your own business, which you probably have realized, right? That I think
Yes. Yes.
I saw your last email where you were talking about you had to learn all of these different tools and learn how to grow newsletters and stuff.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same for me, but yeah, I went even on a couple of more extremes. Hopefully, you don't have to deal with it, but I had to learn how to read legal contracts and how to represent myself in court. So I've done like a bunch of cases. Like I've had to even deal with the tax office here. We had a case with the tax office. I had to turn up to court. I had to deal with two cases with the tax office actually. And I had to, what else? Like learn my accounting so I can clear up my books. Like I was let down by accountants on reporting tax, like sales tax, because in particular, in Australia, sales tax or we call it GST, goods and service tax, for food is really complicated. Like we have, I don't know why and whether you have a similar system, but we have this system in Australia where if you buy a bread, it doesn't attract sales tax. It's been created like I don't know hundreds of years ago to promote food food business and production of food.
Right.
If you slice bread, it doesn't attract sales tax. But if you put a slice of cheese between two slices of bread, you got to put sales tax on it because now it's a product, it's a sandwich. It's not anymore two slices of bread, it's a slice of cheese. It's ridiculous.
I, oh, you just made something hurt right up here. I don't think I've ever thought about it like that. But I definitely understand what you're saying, right? I think that's pretty cool. Because there is a difference. Hey, we got a visitor.
Yeah, I've got a little visitor here. Hey, babe, how are you doing? She's having her breakfast.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
Yeah,
that was like this realization that I gotta learn all of these skills and be able to actually deal with um, taxation, being able to deal with contracts, and being able to do all of these things was like really, really interesting for me. Basically, I think I
yeah.
had to learn a lot of different things. Um,
Yeah, I mean, to go back to what you said, what you're describing is my very first official email newsletter, and I decided to put a quick little blurb in there that pretty much there'll always be something about building my business because I think it's really important to for people to understand like there's some really like crazy interesting shit to go through,
yeah,
but like I'm a chef. I perfected, not perfected. I really honed my craft for 30 plus years, and all the things, whether it's the knives or even the spreadsheets and understanding the numbers and the truly the craft of like leading people. And so that's great. And then you say, "Oh, I'm going to go off and do something else." And it's like, "Okay, I can now be a consultant or an advisor and I can help you in the restaurant. That shit's easy. But wait, getting clients, making it clear of what I do for people and so the marketing and the branding and oh, you need a logo. Oh, you need this. Oh, you got to register that. You know. So for me, I decided that I would create one little piece of that newsletter that my goal is about 75 to 100 words of just something that says this is this is the fucking thing, man. This is what it is because I think it's important.
yeah,
I talk to a lot of chefs, and so I thankfully there's a number of chefs on that email list. And I want some of the younger folks and even some of the older folks to be able to look and go, there's more out there, right? There you can leave the restaurant business and you can do other things. And so I don't know if I'm looking to inspire as much as I am just sharing my journey, you know. But it's
yeah.
it's uh it's pretty fascinating to be a small restaurant owner. It is challenging, or small
Yeah.
business owner, sorry. It is
So I,
challenging.
I think for me, like really the things that I still consider as wins every day is when we receive a positive feedback from a customer and when I can see a nice story, when we see a story where they say, hey, this was the best meal that we had. This was like the best sausage, or this was the best steak, or this was the best dish. It was the best experience. We just enjoyed everything from start to end. Like I really enjoy that win. For me, that's a big win for us. Like it's a big win for the community, it's a big win for the chef, and it's a big win for us as a business to actually win another ambassador or another person that would go and refer us and talk to their friends about the experience. And the other
Yeah.
thing that I really enjoy is also on sort of the beginning of the experience is when we see another booking from a random person that I've never heard of or I've never spoken with. It's just like a random person, random individual would go on the website and purchase a booking and just book and pay, and we're gonna be like, wow, this is so cool. It's just every time you see this, no matter how deep you are in your business and how much shit you've dealt with and how many things you gotta sort of do in order to get to here, like when you see this, I think it's really rewarding. It's just a testament of the quality of the product we've delivered. It's a testament of what we built, and it's a testament of the connection and the importance of food for people, basically. So I always really enjoy these things. They're little sort of dings, right? Little ding, ding, ding
Huge.
in
Yeah.
there that you can see in your inbox. And I still get notifications. I've set myself up to see every single notification when we get new bookings. And it gives you that adrenaline and dopamine, basically, to know you've built something good, and you should keep pushing, no matter how
Yeah,
tough it can be and
totally.
how much shit you need to learn around new things and
Yeah.
deal with accounting and all sorts of other stuff. At least you're actually creating and making a difference for someone, basically.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, Petko, thank you so much for joining me today. I love to hear about different experiences, people around the world doing great things in food and beverage and hospitality. I mean, obviously, being able to bring chefs into people's homes is something special, right? And I think as a chef myself, being able to see that like the experiences that those chefs can have and connecting is definitely um, pretty valuable and just genuinely special. So, tell us how we find you. Like, where are we gonna go so that we can experience this?
I think, I mean, the simplest way is obviously on the website. We have chefin.com, like the chefin.com. So it's a
Okay.
pretty simple website and a brand. And you can find information there about what you can do as a chef and how you can enjoy yourself by cooking for individuals in their homes. And also the actual individuals can find information about romantic dinners and dining experiences, blindfolded dinners and different culinary adventures that they can book
Wine
online.
dinner.
It's a
Nice.
yeah, it's a pretty cool and simple spot. If you really wanna connect with me, the best place is LinkedIn.
Okay.
I am on LinkedIn all the time. I tend to spend at least half an hour every day on LinkedIn, connecting with people and sort of responding to messages and messaging other people as well, keeping conversations and keeping in touch with friends around the world as well. I think that's the beauty of social media, that it enables us to actually connect and sort of talk to people that are across the world, like tens of thousands of kilometers away from us. And also you can see a lot of content and a lot of information about what we do. And I tend to sort of build in public and post a lot of information as well around the
Yeah.
business and what we've done and what we've succeeded with and sometimes what we failed on.
Awesome. So I will make sure all that stuff is in the show notes so that people can find you. Once again, thank you so much to all you out there. Please go find where you consume podcasts, whether that be Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Amazon or just about anywhere. Also doing this on YouTube. Would love a review. Would love, got to be 5 star though. Come on, help me out. And a like, a follow, a subscribe. All those are super appreciated. And just keep listening because we keep having fun every week. So thank you very much and catch you on the flip side.